Hello, my name is Ron Dorn. I'm the instructor for GPH 111, and I would like to explain to you how this course works. I'm going to share screen and go over a presentation that I hope is quite short and useful for you. The GPH 111 Physical Geography course is about Earth holistically, how the entire Earth system works. It doesn't take the separate pieces of the biology or the geology, but it combines everything from a geographic or a spatial perspective. I've been an instructor at ASU since 1988, and mountain biking is the way I like to get around in the field to study physical geography. The units of the class lectures are about building the earth up, tearing it down to make landscapes, the basics of climate, global climate and weather, and then we move into how you put together physical geography as a nature of place by combining all the different pieces of the Earth's natural system. This presentation covers what you need to earn in a basic lab science course, what you need to purchase, due dates, how your grade is determined, the best way to get into the flow of the class, and then how to get help. Science credit is given for this course when it's combined with GPH 112. This is a 3-credit lecture class. GPH 112 is a lab class. They can be taken together or GPH 111 first, followed by GPH 112. This course meets both the old SQ lab science for students that had entered ASU prior to the fall of 24, and then the new scientific thinking lab science course for all students who entered after 24. A key goal of mine is that you used to love, or most people used to love science when they were 6 with joy and wonder, and then they began to have a fear of failure. So I want to remove that fear of failure by having your grade linked to what you demonstrate in knowledge. Like a video game, you just level up. You earn more points to get a higher and higher grade. I don't want your grade to be based upon what you don't get, but when you get it, those points add to your grade. So there are two different Kansas sides, GPH 111 and GPH 112. So again, you can take this class and not GPH 112 if you want to. That's great, unless you need a general studies lab science class. Then you can take GPH 112 anytime during or after this class. What do you need to buy? Not much. There's no expensive textbook. All the readings are hyperlinked in the welcome and start here module, access to lectures, readings, and the list of quizzes. For GPH 112, there's a $55 bundle for the games you'll need to do the labs. If you're only taking GPH 111, it was specified in the syllabus that you can get the Hawaii and the Grand Canyon game for $15 each. The reason why I went to so much time and work to compile readings instead of having a $250 science textbook and then a $90 lab manual was to reduce costs. We want to keep things as low as possible. So where do you get the games? This is specified in the syllabus. How do you order them? Why do we have games for GPH 111 and 112? Well, it has to do with me getting depressed when I looked at the new scientific thinking in natural science learner objectives. It looked like a recipe for crushing students' confidence, that you had the fun taken out of science. And then I realized that geography is a great way for you to obtain data about science, to see patterns, what some people call hypotheses, and to see if those patterns are real or if they're just created out of our mind and we can't test whether they're real. And then create ways to look at the universe. And I realized this was all about physical geography, that the fun of physical geography was this material, but looked at in terms of big patterns. So take, for example, the Big Island of Hawaii, which is a great place many people like to visit. Hawaii is moving over a hot spot in the mantle, and it results in lots of lava, and the Hawaiian island chain gets older one direction and younger in another direction. And this is all patterns in geography. And then the Hawaii is a great place to see patterns in the atmosphere and how they relate to plants. For example, there's the general circulation of the atmosphere, the trade winds, and in Hawaii, the trade winds are below a certain elevation. And above a certain elevation, it gets very dry. So it creates incredible patterns that you can see in geographic data. So here's the game for Hawaii, where your avatar is on top of Mauna Kea and you're looking at dew points, which is how much moisture in the atmosphere. And it's really dry up on top. Or you're looking at patterns of lava flows, or you're looking at patterns of deep river valleys. All these things are really interesting. They're the sorts of things you want to see when you go to Hawaii. So this course just is all about you for life, seeing these fantastic patterns in the great places you can visit, like Hawaii, the Grand Canyon, and your backyard. Due dates. I hate due dates for students with crazy work schedules, family schedules. Those in the military and service get pulled away for chunks of time. So when you have specific due dates, it just doesn't meet with that reality. There are some students that like to see due dates listed. So I try and do the best of both worlds. The due date that can't be changed is the very end of the session. That's there for everybody. But also for everybody, you can set your own schedules. So there's a pacing guide I talk about in the class and in the lectures and in the syllabus that let's say you want an A plus. So let's say you, after 2 weeks, you've only earned 12 points. So there are 5 weeks left. You need 100 points to reach an A plus. Well, your pacing guide then is 20 points a week. 20 points a week will help you get to that A plus. So you say your pacing guide based upon where you come up for air and how many points you need. But the number one reason for failing this class is just ignoring it and getting behind. So please don't ignore the class. How is your grade determined? I hate percentages because it crushes students' motivation. Every bad grade you get in a percentage system just means that you have to work very hard to recover. In a point accumulation system, you do another assignment that has the same learner objective, you get the points, and your grade doesn't suffer. Hopefully, this removes the fear of failure, and you have lots of control over your grade. You earn points by basic knowledge quizzes, no big tests, and lab practicals that link very carefully to the science objectives getting you general studies. And then for those who like to write essays, an optional essay. All these you do not have to do. You can skip assignments that don't look interesting, but don't skip too many, or you won't have the points you need to earn the grade you want. When you look at Canvas in the gradebook, you will see percentage information. Oh, I hate that. I want you to ignore that percentage. Ignore the out of and only focus. In this case, I had earned 2.96 points at this. So I need a lot more to reach an A plus in this profile. I just want you to ignore the percentage information. How do you get into the flow in the class? Well, you have a welcome and start module where you learn the best strategies in doing the class efficiently with the least amount of time and having the most fun. Then you take a syllabus quiz on the class. It's kind of like a FAQ for the syllabus. You need to read it, the syllabus, but it's kind of like key points. So that's a syllabus quiz that you have to complete before you do any assignments. The lectures and the readings are links in the welcome module, and I have to publish or unpublish them for different semesters. So this is a syllabus quiz to really orient you to how the course runs. So you finish the quizzes on the lectures first, and the lectures are hidden behind a log on for the class, and it's not your ASU Write ID. It's GPH 111, and the password is not your ASU password. It's Gaia, GPH 111 Gaia. That's for all the quizzes and some readings that are hidden behind the password wall. So you first work on all the lectures and finish all the quizzes. This provides the baseline knowledge for the course in the different units. So for example, you would watch a lecture and then you'd click on the quiz and then you would take the quiz. You have to finish it once you start. The quizzes are not timed. There are no repeats. And in all, there's over 50 points possible to earn in the quizzes. There's a quiz zero where I really like to get to know students. It's just a survey. There are no points for it. It's just under the quiz link. And if you want to tell me about yourself, I enjoy reading about yourself and exchange my answers to the same questions. Then after you do the quizzes, you'll do what are called lab practicals. Lab practicals are not timed, and you can pause it and finish it after you start, unlike the quizzes. There are over 100 points possible. There's a basic module you have to do first on the lab practicals. Do this module second after the quizzes. And then when you finish that module, then the rest of the lab practicals open up. Lab practicals are single assignments. There's no presentations. You just read the instructions and jump in. And if they don't look interesting, you can skip it. But don't skip it too many because there are over 100 points available and you'll need them to reach the grade you want. And there's always, you can add more points by an essay assignment at the end of class. So how do you get help and how do you appeal a question that you think was marked wrong? Well, it's best to ask questions in a discussion board because other students can learn about them. But unless you have personal items like your grade, then you email me. When you appeal a question, send a screenshot of the question itself, not a picture from your phone, because I usually can't see those, but from your computer's operating system. Send a screenshot of the supporting evidence, such as from lecture or readings, and write a paragraph why you think your selection was best, why the other answers were not as good as what you selected. Just simply saying, I think mine was the best. That's not what this is about. This is about an argument where you explain why your selection was the best. And then you email me. Please do not send a Canvas message. Canvas message messes up attachments. So just email me to ronald.dorn@asu.edu with your appeal and your question and your attachments, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So again, figuring out your grade is as simple as ignoring the percentage, looking at your point total, and comparing it to the grade scale in the syllabus. It's that easy, and it's under your control. I hope you enjoy the class, and I hope this presentation wasn't too boring. Thanks.